Hi, I'm Kaushal, and this is my series, Almost Legend, in which I try to find fun, interesting, and competitive decks that are capable of making it to Standard Legend. Now, my exact process for each deck is to start at Diamond 5 0 stars and climb all the way up to Rank 1 3 stars. At that point, I'll D-rank back down to Diamond 5 and start the process again with a new deck. My hope is that, by watching this series, you'll be able to see some cool and competitive decks that are capable of making it to Legend. Well, almost Legend. Thanks for watching, and now on to the video.
So I have a really interesting deck to show off today. This is a Forge Lor'Themar Warrior. And that's pretty weird, but I was able to take it from Diamond 5 0 stars all the way up to rank 1 3 stars, so something about this was working. Let me go ahead and explain the different parts of the deck. So, as the name suggests, this deck features Ignis the Eternal Flame, and this requires you to have forged a card. Now, the thing about Warrior is that there's only one good forge card, which is Bellowing Flames. And the other forge cards that you could play are really subpar. And so I wanted to create a deck where you could just run Bellowing Flames and have Ignis active pretty consistently. So I came up with this deck after multiple revisions where we're only going to run 4 spells in total. We're going to run 2 Trial by Fires and 2 Bellowing Flames. And so these are both fire spells that get tutored and discounted by Steam Guardian. So pretty consistently, you're going to be able to get Bellowing Flames either through your Mulligan or through Steam Guardian, and you can forge it, and then Ignis will be active. And that way, we're going to be able to cut out cards like Mechanome Guide or whatever and play minions that are good, that we'd prefer to play. Now, the great thing about this deck is that you have a really robust anti-aggro package with the double Bellowing Flames, double Trial by Fire that's discounted and tutored by Steam Guardian. So we do feel pretty comfortable against aggressive decks. Now the rest of the deck is sort of filled up by minions. And with a minion dense deck like this, I figured that Lor'Themar would be a good fit. Is that way when you play Lor'Themar, you're hitting most of your deck with that stat bonus effect. And so here's Lor'Themar. And if you look through the deck, there are some really heavy hitters at the top end that get massively boosted by the stat doubling effect from Lor'Themar, like Trenchstalker, Remornia. Remornia is a nutty card. Um, Abyssal Bassist is really great and gets discounted by your Remornia, getting equipped multiple times in a turn. Sylvanas the Accused, I think, is really powerful because the Infuse gets hit really easily because you're tutoring Trial by Fire quite often. And then Minotaurin, of course, Decimator Olgra and then Minotaurin are both amazing with stat buffs. So another natural thing with this deck is putting Black Rock and Roll in. But the problem is that it interferes with your tutoring effects. And against a lot of decks, you really don't want to draw Black Rock and Roll off your Steam Guardian because it's too slow. So that's why I run ETC and I put Black Rock and Roll in the band. That way, in the matchups where you can afford to play Black Rock and Roll, say that 10 times fast, you are going to be able to play ETC on 4 into Black Rock and Roll on 5 because you're likely playing against slow control decks who aren't really going to punish you for that sort of play. So think like Control Priest, Control Warrior, some variations of Control Warlock, Plague Death Knight. These sorts of decks, you can play an ETC on 4 and then skip your turn on 5 and you'll be completely fine. And otherwise, in the ETC band, we're going to put in Through the Felon Flames, just so ETC becomes a 4-mana 5/5 rush, which is perfectly acceptable. The rest of the deck are just filled with utility minions. I think a card to note is Thoribolor, which is really nice in this deck because it gets revived with every fire spell you cast, and you're going to be playing a lot of fire spells because you're tutoring them so consistently. In terms of the low end of the curve, Sir Finley is great for swapping out your hand after you've buffed your deck with Lor'Themar. Frightened Flunky is a great early game minion for filler. Remix Tuning Fork is also really, really nice. I wouldn't advise cutting this card. I think it's really essential for early game control. And then Blade Master Okani is a very disruptive card in this meta. It's really nice, for example, you could play it on 8 and counter a minion if you're playing against a Warlock. That way they can't just play Sargeras the next turn. It really, really makes life frustrating for a lot of decks. So, you know, same thing with Odin. You can block their Odin by playing this on 7. In terms of matchups, I'd say that this deck is pretty favored against control decks. As long as you get your Lor'Themar down or you get your ETC into Black Rock and Roll. My advice would be to not get too greedy with it. If you get one of those online, I think you're golden. Like, maybe against Priest you could play both, but most of the time, if you try to play both, you'll get killed by your opponent because our opponent's win conditions in control matchups are actually pretty devastating nowadays with like Odin and Sargeras. So you have to be careful about that. Against aggressive decks, we are going to be able to control the board really well with Bellowing Flames and with our Trial by Fire. And Trial by Fire is absolutely nutty. And they don't really stand a chance if you get those sorts of cards on curve and discounted. And then I'd say in terms of like a bad matchup, Drum Druid is really bad. We don't really have a way to silence the drum circle board. However, in the games that I have today, I do actually have a game where I win against Drum Druid in a really creative way. So feel free to stay tuned for that and see how I was able to pull it off. Really quick mulligan guide, I would just say hard mulligan for Bellowing Flames. And pretty much every matchup against, I don't know, maybe Priest, you don't keep it. But otherwise, this card is just a really, really good card to keep because all your opponents will always have like some minions that you want to kill. And you want to get your Forge online as quickly as possible for Ignis. And then in addition, Steam Guardian is always a keep. And then I would say maybe ETC is a keep in really, really slow matchups where you play ETC on 4 into Black Rock and Roll on 5, but I don't know. I'm still unsure about that one. I would not keep things like Frightened Flunky and Remix Tuning Fork. These are sort of trap keeps. What you really want to be doing on 2 mana is forging your Bellowing Flames to set up for more powerful turns in the future. So I have some games for you. Enjoy. Okay, so I'm going up against Death Knight here. I think I match up pretty well against Blood, but uh, I don't know about Unholy. Ooh, Plague. Interesting. I think it's a matchup where I probably want to ETC into Black Rock and Roll.
Our gift of the arcane enlightens us. You have earned an eternity of torment. Thousand Needles, are you ready to rock? Arcane Bolt.
So I think we'll still take the Black Rock and Roll here. Because hopefully my ETC, yeah, like their plays don't seem like super impactful here. So that's cool. Oh, nice. And they make the trade for me. Yep, we're just ripping it.
Arcane Bolt.
And then next turn I can sort of cover for myself with Trial by Fire.
The citadel stands strong.
So I do wonder, if I play Finley, do I draw all those plagues? That would be pretty disastrous. I guess I could do it for science.
As you say, I seem to have lost the surface.
Whoa, interesting. So these don't actually trigger. That's really funny. Now I know. Oh, let's get some armor, I guess. Well, so I'll be bringing back my unbuffed minions with this, which is a bit unfortunate. Maybe I want to get like a cool weapon with Ignis. So maybe next turn, do I want like a 5 or do I want to just go for a 10? Maybe a 5 is more reasonable. And then let's do lifesteal. And then let's do 4+ minion.
This place is scary.
Yeah, sure, I'll take something cheap.
We stand together.
Hmm, that's a bit unfortunate. Ah, okay, my deck's shuffled now, so maybe the Igniuses are good again. Okay, let's play Runic X. Let's see what I get first.
My torment is my
Whoa.
wings.
Give your minions +1 attack.
Sorrow cord.
Let's play this first.
Scary.
Is Thaddeus actually good? Play Thaddeus and I can play these two. Maybe that's a good turn 10 play. Oh, well. I guess it's not gonna be on the right polarity, but whatever.
Sorrow cord.
Oh, whoops. This is a rush minion. Ah, I should have attacked with the Valkyrie. I forgot about that. That's so funny. That actually probably would have equaled more, that 2 more damage, right? Yeah, I would have gotten 2 more damage because these two would have gotten more attack. On his face. Yep, that's it. Yeah, interesting interactions that game.
Deathwing versus Illidan. You're on my list. Come, embrace the chaos.
So this is either Relic Demon Hunter or Outcast. Both pretty different playstyles. Regardless, I think I'm throwing away this hand. Because I think I want Bellowing Flames or Steam Guardian. Steam Guardian's good to see here. So against Outcast Demon Hunter, I feel a little bit more comfortable because I have so many board control tools with Bellowing Flames and Trial by Fire, as long as I draw them. I like Demon Hunter. I think I can get a little more challenging because they can ramp up their relics faster, I think, than I can get my Lor'Themar down and start pressuring the board. Okay, so it is Outcast.
Is it safe to feed?
Okay, so that's actually a pretty slow play on their part. I don't really mind that for me because they're not really gonna win by outvaluing me. Because I have such a dominating late game advantage. As long as I just like keep their board clear, I should be in pretty good shape.
If 3
rights make a law.
So Bellowing Flames cleans up the board pretty well here. Oh, and I have Ignis. That's perfect. Because now in the future I can play Ignis and get like a 1-mana weapon, a 5-mana weapon. Maybe I even play Ignis next turn, just get the 1-mana weapon just for my curve, and then into Trial by Fire.
Who's hiding now? They will never catch me.
Yeah, let's see.
Who's hiding
Okay, so
now?
they're playing a lot of cheap minions. A lot of cheap minions. Okay.
Anyone ought
Jeez.
to a ghoul to the
+1
face.
Vengeful Walloper. Okay. Halveria might be a huge problem. Oh, just kidding. Okay, this card's just broken. Oh, I'll see you later, board. Oh my god. Bellowing Flames. Like, what a card. What a card. Now I have Trial by Fire the next turn. If they set
They
up any
will
sort of
never
board.
catch me.
I see.
Anyone ought to a ghoul to the face.
Yeah, this is going to be extremely powerful here. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I would leave 2 at that point. I'm not gonna lie. That's just frustrating to deal with.
Deathwing versus Malfurion.
I must protect the wild.
Come, embrace the chaos.
This is a pretty bad matchup for me because my deck doesn't really have a natural answer to Drum Circle. I think I'm still gonna try to mulligan for Bellowing Flames and Steam Guardian. So there's like merit to keeping the Frightened Flunky. Okay, so Ignis is actually one of my outs in this matchup. Because assuming I am going up against some sort of Drum Circle Druid, Ignis allows me to deal with their board with the poisonous weapon. Also play Okani ahead of their Drum Circle turn. Go ahead and just pre-equip the weapon here. Just in case they play stuff. Yeah, okay, so this is looking like a classic Drum Circle Druid. They're not playing any early minions or anything like that. Okay, so I should kill one of those. I guess I'll play the Okani here, actually. It's not too bad. Because the alternative play is I could play Sword Eater. I could swing once, play Sword Eater, and then my Crystal Basis costs 3. But does it really matter that it costs 3? I don't think so. So yeah, I'll just play Okani. Let's counter a minion. So this will kill the Disciple of ANR if they try to play it without dealing with my Okani first, which is nice.
We all exist
Hmm.
in harmony.
I don't know why they did that. I mean, they had to have known that that was coming, right? Like I don't understand. So I got a couple plays here. I could get Steam Guardian and Steam Guardian getting the Bellowing Flames is good because it
Burn them all.
gets my Okani online. Or gets my Ignis online. Maybe I'll go for that. Because I have to play to win this matchup. I can't play to just like lose slower. Okay. It's not the worst. So let's see, what would I do next turn? Um Basically, do I swing with the weapon?
Make haste.
I don't think I swing with the weapon. I think I just trade into this and I hold.
We all exist in harmony.
I don't think they have a way to double their drum circle just yet, because I believe that their Gift of Wisdom card. Ooh, okay, this is a good card. Let's get my weapon. So I want the 1-cost, poisonous, death rattle, perfect.
Not impressed.
I will
So now I have a full clear combo with my weapon, and then I kill my own weapon with Sword Eater. So that's how I clear a full board. Now, what I want to do here is create an extremely intimidating board that my opponent's going to have a lot of trouble dealing with. So I think it's going to be the Trial by Fire. Two, three. These guys go face. Now, I wonder if I equip the weapon and just swing with it. It would be interesting. Now, like, my opponent would know that I have the weapon ready to go. So there would be less of an element of surprise there. Yeah, I think I actually kind of want to surprise my opponent with this. I think it might be a good... But the problem is, so I don't think it'd surprise my opponent that much because, like, the only thing... Oh, actually, no, it is good. It is good because they will cultivate on top of this, I think. That's a bit unfortunate.
a diet high in iron.
So now I want to play Abyssal Bassist. Now I swing.
Not be denied.
And then I wonder if I surf Finley here to get different cards. Are there other cards that'll be more useful in this situation? Okay, well, there you go. Yeah, that was a good game.
Thanks for watching. And yeah, you don't have to worry about liking or subscribing. Yeah, it's okay. You can just close the video now. Okay, bye.